I need a palate cleanser. Where is Babish? I need a Bolognese. Let's go, because this is not. This is basic with Babish. Okay, thank you. Sponsored by whoever you want. Get that money, mate. Hey, number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and let's say a few days ago, I may have made a video titled "Italian Man Loses His SHIT Watching Bolognese Pasta Videos. Hilarious." Now, I admit it. I may have lost my temperament a couple of 17 times on that video, as evidenced by YouTube literally giving me a yellow dollar sign with limited ad suitability. Oh my gosh, YouTube doesn't get sarcasm, do they? They really think I wanna... Oh my gosh. Well, that's fine, yeah? No. That's fine. Yellow is better than freaking red, which is like a Tuesday for me anyways. I admit it fully, okay? And I know that I said that I was gonna fire my therapist. I did not do that, okay? And today I'm a different man. Today I'm gonna be calm, right? It's gonna be great. And we're gonna have no problems. In fact, to help myself, since last time we watched a video that was, oh my gosh, chicken in Bolognese. Chicken in Bolognese. Yeah, so since that happened, I decided, hey, how about we check out a channel that instead I know is good. Like, this channel is good. When they cook, fantastic. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Cooking with Babish. Come on. Babish. Babish. We all know Babish. Babish is great. Babish is one of those things when you're like, you've already had dinner and then you watch Babish's video and you're back cooking again. Babish is a fantastic way to gain weight in a disproportionate, accelerated manner. Plus the content is great. So it's, yeah, it's really, really nice. So I found that he did make Bolognese. Bolognese. And I need a palate cleanser. So basic with Babish. Bolognese. Basic. Definitely is going to be better than the last one. And we know that. I need to read the description just to make sure. What have we got? We got sponsor, lovely, playlist. Oh, that's it. He doesn't do of course, he doesn't do a description. Am I the only one who puts like effort into the description and still doesn't do anything? Or maybe that's why. 10 million? Of course he doesn't. 10 million. He has 10 million subscribers. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew it was really, really popular. Carbonara, man. This is a man of bravery. This is a brave man to try both. The best pasta bolognese you'll ever make, says Epicurious. Oh my gosh, Epicurious. I might have to check that one out as well. But not today. Today, it's Bolognese with Babish. Let's go.
Bright Cellars, a monthly wine club that pair and...
Okay. Show them, Babish. Show them. Ba-da-ba-bam.
Alright, so this might not be the most basic way to start things off, but great recipes often begin with great chicken stock. And in a recipe like Bolognese, where every single ingredient matters, if you have the time, energy, and emotional latitude, it behooves you to make your own chicken stock.
Of course, this is Babish we're talking about. Of course he's gonna make his own. Hello, this is Babish, and today we're gonna make a Bolognese sauce. So we're gonna start from raising our own cows. It usually takes approximately 14 to 27 months, but after you're done that, and then you can shoot the cow in the head, it's gonna make you... Hello, this is Babish, and today we're gonna start Bolognese. Before we even begin making our cows, we have to begin by producing our own grass. So what we're going to feed the cows, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by terraforming Mars, and then...
My favorite way as of late is to roast a whole mess of chicken wings, about 3 pounds,
in
a 400-degree Fahrenheit
Thank you, Babish. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that.
Now it's time to contend with the meats. Traditional Bolognese calls for beef and pork, a pound of which each we're going to brown off in some olive oil. But to increase the meaty, savory mineral notes, I like to take a page out of J. Kenji Lopez Alt's book and also add a pound of ground lamb. A trio that we're going to brown over medium.
Another one with lamb. You don't need it. Add the pancetta.
Heat until browned, about 3 to 5 minutes before removing by virtue of a slotted spoon, because as you might imagine, we want to reserve all this beautiful rendered fat so we can cook our vegetables in it. Once our meat is out the way, it's time to add our onions and saute for 2 to 3 minutes until beginning to turn translucent around the edges and getting nice and soft. But first we're going to scoop out said onions, because even though we're the host of our own cooking show, we totally forgot a step. Half a pound
I was going to say.
We're going to render the fat out of and get nice and crispy and browned. But then we're going to notice that our beautiful fond on the bottom of the pot is starting to burn. So we're going to remove the pork. Whose idea was it to give me a cooking show? Mine? That sounds about right. Anyway, back to square one. We're going to continue sauteing our onions along with our carrot and celery while our pancetta browns up and renders out its fat in a separate saute pan. Once the vegetables are soft and the pancetta is crisp, we're going to dump it straight in, fat and all, as this is going to bring a lot of great flavor to the party.
Yeah, it looks good.
Our tomato element, which is just a quarter cup of tomato paste. Most Americans think that Bolognese is a tomato sauce, which it is not. While tomato paste brings...
Well, you can use some tomato added to the paste. You don't have to just stick to the paste, but yeah.
A lot of tomato flavor. It's primarily a meat, wine, and stock sauce, which after the tomato paste
stock is not obligatory, by the way. There are lots of basic, original, traditional Bolognese don't even use the stock.
2 minutes to caramelize, we're going to add to the hot tub 1 cup of dry white wine like Sauvignon Blanc, scraping up all the good stuff off the bottom of the pot. Then we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes or until the wine is almost fully evaporated and it smells like God's morning breath. Add back our browned meats, give it a stir just so everybody gets to know everybody, and then it's time to start ladling in our ideally homemade, but totally fine if store-bought, chicken stock. About 32 ounces worth, but your mileage may vary. We want just enough that everybody is submerged. Then we're topping that up with 1 cup of whole milk, a bay leaf or 2, a couple of Parmesan cheese.
Okay, yeah, he's going really way. I'm sure it's good, okay? I'm not going to say that this is going to be bad. It's BABISH we're talking about. But still, you don't need to add cheese into the sauce. In fact, you're not even forced to add it on top of the pasta once it's ready. You can if you want, but some really enjoyers of Bolognese sauce don't even do that. But you can do it, but definitely you don't need to put cheese in the sauce. And also the milk, I know some people do it, but it's not traditional then. It's like,
if you have them lying around the house, and the most traditional ingredient, a generous grating of freshly grated nutmeg. And then
that is not the most. Why do they use, to be a little pedantic, since that is my middle name, yes, Metatron pedantic. In the original recipe, meaning the most traditional recipe when it comes to the Bolognese, no nutmeg. But there are some people that do use it and is considered to be an acceptable addition. In moderation, which is mutually exclusive with the term generous. Thank you. Now you can hate me. Glory to Rome.
You can simmer it on the stovetop, but I like to put it in a 300-degree Fahrenheit oven for 3 to 4 hours. Plenty of time to make the all-important fresh pasta. Bolognese is most commonly served with an almost too wide for your mouth pappardelle, so that's what we're going to make.
No, traditionally tagliatelle. You can serve it with pappardelle if you want. Definitely better than freaking spaghetti. But once again, he's saying traditional, then I'm going to say it. It's tagliatelle alla bolognese.
Of an indiscriminate mountain of all-purpose flour. Dig a well in the center, crack in 4 eggs,
fresh with eggs, it's good.
Kosher salt, and stir 5 to 7 minutes. Then we're wrapping in plastic wrap and letting it rest at room temp and cut it into the stand mixer. And to laminate, add a little bit of your pasta roller, 1 notch at a time, thinner and thinner, until you have a nice long, thin sheet of pasta.
I love that he makes his own pasta though.
You might need to cut
Appreciate that.
in half so you can get it all the way down to 0, or its thinnest possible setting. At which point we'll begin cutting our pasta into pappardelle. The idea here is that you want to fold the pasta onto itself accordion style without any of the folds overlapping, so they don't crease as much when cut, and we don't end up with kinky pasta.
Really
then
good.
we are simply slicing lengthwise into about ½ wide strips and making sure that each strip is generously coated in flour before twisting into nests and placing on a rimmed baking sheet that has been well dusted with flour. Then all there is left to do is rinse and repeat with the remaining pasta, a process which, like chicken stock, is labor-intensive but worth the effort. Once all the pasta is rolled, it's time to begin final assembly. Our sauce is out the oven and looking pretty crazy, but it's going to be really awesome. First, we're going to skim off as much of the fat as we can, remove the bay leaf, and start tasting for seasoning. This thing is going to need generous doses of the following: freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Kosher salt and plenty-o twists of freshly ground black pepper, and for a little optional added richness, about ½ cup of heavy cream.
Heavy cream? I thought it was milk. Like, I know that some people do use milk, I guess. Maybe it was like something they did back in the day to make sure they had to do with the meat that they were using. But nowadays, the most traditional way is without it. But not heavy cream. They put panna while you're at it. Whipping cream. Like, come on, let's go. What traditional? Babish, sit down. Sit down, Babish. I need to talk to you. The reason why we Italians are so explosive whenever anyone tackles our culinary traditions, holy, sacred culinary traditions, is because you guys use the term classic/traditional. Ditch it. and I'll be okay. Be like, hey, that's his version. That's his whatever representation. That's his take on it, based on his taste, based on the taste of the people he's going to serve. And then I'm gonna be like, okay, Babish, do whatever you want. But when you say traditional, you add what can I do? For those of you already exploding in the comments, being pedantic to Mr. Pedantic here, I do understand that he did not say that the heavy cream was traditional. Nevertheless, he did use the term traditional. Therefore, I felt a strong urge to have to underline on a video where you say classic and traditional multiple times, and then you add heavy cream in combination with Bolognese. Some Italians will explode. Not all Italians, mind you, just the annoying ones. Like me. Also, for those who don't get it, these videos are made tongue-in-cheek. JK.
Until everybody's combined and emulsified and rich and creamy and awesome. One last taste to make sure that it's seasoned properly, and because your instinct might be to just eat this with a spoon, before it's time to start assembling our pasta. As you may know, I'm an advocate for finishing cooking pasta in the sauce.
That's good.
So even though our fresh pasta only needs about 60 seconds of cook time, we're going to cook it for about 45 seconds, pull it out and drop it into an awaiting sauté pan full of our sauce, along with about a quarter cup of pasta cooking water, which we're going to toss together over medium-low heat until some of the sauce is absorbed, the sauce is emulsified, and the pasta is fully cooked. Then we're optionally
I don't know why I hate the word emulsified when talking about pasta sauce. It doesn't make me, like, I think your choice of words should be something that conveys the awesomeness of your food. And I mean, Babish is a pro. I freaking love Babish. We watch him regularly with my wife as he cooks stuff while we eat. But emulsified? It's like I remember this guy was also making like a panino recipe, how to make your own panino with like, and he was adding stuff, and then he said, look, now I'm adding a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of mayonnaise so it gets lubricated. Guys, choose your words, for crying out loud.
Using a carving fork into a nest into our intended bowl, which this pappardelle is so wide that didn't really actually work, so maybe just dump some into a bowl, top with a little bit of extra sauce, and an unreasonable amount of freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
Optional.
What I'm going to go out on a limb and say publicly on the internet is a very legitimate Bolognese sauce. I'm looking forward to the panel of 4 Italian experts telling me exactly why I'm wrong. But one thing that they cannot tell me is that this isn't amazing.
I'm sure it is, you know, and that's the thing that I want to say apart from the comedy and the sarcasm. I'm sure it's really, really good. I do believe so. But the moment you say traditional, mate, and the panel is going to be summoned. I mean, if you summon the devil with a Latin enchanting, it's not on the devil that appeared. It's on the enchanter, the summoner.
Meaty, it is saucy, it is unctuous, and it's entirely made from scratch. And it's all the better being made with and enjoyed alongside some wine from today's...
Well, okay. Thank you, Babish. At least it was absolutely better, apart from the freaking heavy cream, but it was definitely better than the previous episode that if you haven't watched, you want to see me explode? Click the link in the description. See you tomorrow, number ones. Alright, number ones, well, I hope you liked this video. It was definitely better. It gave me a little bit of just a little bit, okay? No, it wasn't too bad. I did well. Come on. Tell me in the comments I did well. That's what my therapist said. My therapist said, you have to tell me, and if you don't, I'm actually allowed to contact the Sicilians in my family, cousins, yeah. So let me know and how I did this time, and then we'll make more probably. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Bolognese, grazie. Tagliatelle, ragù. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.